Hi everyone, we're here today at Video Odyssey Studio at Toxteth TV. I'm councillor Harry Doyle, a local councillor for Knotty Ash ward on Liverpool City Council, and we're here today with Joanne Anderson, who's a local councillor for Princess Park, this ward, and she's standing to be Labour's candidate for Liverpool Mayor. So Joanne, how's the campaign going so far?
It's absolutely brilliant. We've got a really diverse team of local councillors, family friends, just general Labour Party members and supporters. There's lots of energy in the team. We really do feel like we're making history. So the campaign's going great, much better than anticipated, because this time last week we were all just getting on with our lives. So yeah, it's going amazingly.
And obviously you said before you weren't expecting to be in this position really. How have you found the reaction from members?
So members, speaking to members on the phone, it's been really good. Members are quite upset about the process, understandably. We feel like we had our choices taken away. We haven't been given enough information about why the other process collapsed. But once you talk through with members, some of the issues that they're experiencing, we're all Labour Party members after all. I've really enjoyed talking to members because I also get a sense of what they care about in the city. And I think everyone's looking forward to just, getting past the election and getting on with our lives.
I mean, and the role of Liverpool Mayor is such a huge role and a huge task. It's going to require some strong leadership and experienced leadership. Do you think you've got that?
Well, I'm sort of halfway through, I think, my leadership journey. I'm 50 years of age. I've been leading people, organisations a long time. And I'm at the point in my leadership journey where it's not about me at all. It's about creating the right support for other people to thrive and shine. So one of the things I'm really looking forward to is, working with the team, which we are as councillors and officers, to, rebuild our city after COVID and some of the big challenges we've got ahead of us, and utilising the expertise that we have within the council body to do the best job we can.
And of course, post-COVID recovery is going to be a huge task for whoever takes over the realm as Liverpool Mayor. What do you think in terms of the first 100 days, for example, post-COVID, what do you think will be your main priority?
Well, whilst 100 days is short term, we've got to tackle the climate crisis. We've got to focus on that at all times. So I really want to focus on making sure active travel is available for people across the city, in terms of some of the great schemes we have, like City Bike and the scooters available in neighbourhoods and the rest of the boroughs around, the wards around our city. So they're the kinds of things I want to think of in active travel. But in post-COVID recovery, we really have to support our hospitality sector. They've been battered so hard by COVID, and they're not coming from a clean starting point. They're not coming back as zero balance. They owe money to landlords, often landlords that don't even live in our country. And so they will most definitely need our help. And I want to work with all sections of the community to try and support our hospitality sector. And of course, unemployment, rising unemployment, kids who've some haven't been out of the house for a year, and their opportunities for the last year have been stunted. So I think the employment and skills agenda is something I really want to focus on post-COVID recovery. I think we've got the capacity to be really leading edge in our skills agenda, and great opportunity with the devolved authority to marry our skills sector needs or the gaps within our sectors, our growth sectors, with pockets of deprivation and young people who are suffering from economic inactivity, but sometimes whole generations and whole families who aren't working. So I'd really like to use this as an opportunity in rebuilding after COVID to really get it right on employment and skills agenda.
Yeah, and it's so important, particularly with young people as well. Education in the city is really struggling actually, and it's a national picture as well. Yeah. What are we going to do in terms of supporting young people and the next generation?
Well, you know, in terms of some of the key stages of development, we're really behind in Liverpool as an area, and we've got to support our young people and our teachers in schools about ensuring that they stay and not under pressure, because actually the best thing for our schools is that they retain good teachers. So I'm involved in looking at ways we can try and increase the number of black teachers, black and minority ethnic teachers in school, and also creating opportunities for those teachers to be in leadership positions in our urban schools. But yeah, our skills agenda are in our educational attainment outcomes for some of the young people in our city. It just isn't good enough.
Yeah. Talking about housing, moving on to a different subject. Of course, lots of, you mentioned deprivation before. In terms of our housing strategy in the city, what do you see going forward if you're mayor?
So you'll know as councillor, the majority of our caseworkers all housing, our MPs, a majority of their caseworkers is housing. We really do have a housing crisis in one sense. I think the last figure I remember was we have 11,000 people on the property pool list. You know, such a high demand for housing. And so for the first time, we're able to build council houses in a long time. I've worked at Homes England in the past, and I'm looking forward to rebuilding sort of a relationship with them as our key stakeholder in our house building priorities, but also looking forward to ensuring that we design, we retrofit houses, we can design in energy efficiency, we can design good neighbourhoods in consultation with those people who live in those areas, which is another thing I'm really passionate about, is ensuring that people have a say in their future, their area, and you know what goes on in their neighbourhood. So I think that's really exciting that we can do this again for the first time in a long time.
Yeah. And one of the biggest issues that the Labour candidate is going to face over the coming months and up to the election is, of course, the Cali Report. And, you know, obviously it's important to say that anything that's happened previously is alleged. But we've got a real issue with restoring trust with the public and with the city. So how do you think you can best deliver that? And do you think you're the candidate that can deliver that for the Labour Party in the city?
So when I've worked in the Crown Prosecution Service in the past, my role was as community engagement lead was to instil confidence in the public in the criminal justice system, but particularly the CPS. Now, one of the ways we've done that was open up our decision-making processes to scrutiny, which the review by David Lammy into criminal justice agencies around racism found that CPS was the agency the public had the most confidence in. So we've been working on a 10-year strategy to increase that confidence. But I've got the experience, I've got the track record of delivering that kind of accountability within large organisations, and that's what we must do with Liverpool City Council. Now, there's a lot of rumour. We don't know what the Cali Report, I certainly don't know what's in the Cali Report. So I think, you know, bad as it is, I think it also provides an opportunity to clear the decks and move forward with a fresh start and address the issues and recommendations that are in the report to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, no, it's really important, and I suppose it's worth saying as well, of course, that if you're selected and elected as the city mayor, you'll be the first woman to lead the city and also the first black female directly elected mayor. What impact do you think that's going to have in society?
Well, I think, you know, men talk to me about it all the time. It's about time it's a woman, and it's long overdue, I feel. And, you know, for young girls as well, even just the furore around a woman standing up and, you know, anyone standing up in politics and what happens to them in terms of, you know, social media and that kind of pressure. For a woman to be in a leadership position, especially a black woman, I think will have a massive positive impact, especially with young girls in our city, in our country. And, yeah, we're making history, aren't we? And long overdue.
It absolutely is. And just to finish off, I know one thing you're passionate about is tackling the domestic violence issue in the city. You know, we do have an issue with that. How do you plan to tackle that issue?
So a couple of years ago, lots of stakeholders got together to develop a End Violence Against Women and Girls strategy. I hear it hasn't been implemented. It was about 3 years ago now. So I'll work with the likes of, you know, the Police and Crime Commissioner, the Metro Mayor and other key stakeholders to end violence against women. You know, I just read the news this morning where 2 women have been murdered in Britain today. I was watching a programme last night about revenge porn. You know, it's the way women and girls are treated in society. We have to take drastic action to stop it. So I'm really committed to working with stakeholders to develop a strategy to end violence against women and girls.
And just to finish off, I suppose, what would be your final message to Labour Party members who are still deciding who to vote for in this election?
Well, I feel I've got the skills to take us forward. I was always against the mayoral model, and I've campaigned against it. But actually, it's up for, you know, once you're leader, if I'm successful, it's not my decision. It's in the hands of the city, and I'm very committed to the referendum. So I see an opportunity for me to create some calm in the current stormy waters that we have in the Labour Party. And also, I feel I've got the skills to do the job, and that's why I put myself forward. But also to take us to the next phase, which is about having a democratic say about how our city is run.
Okay. Well, thanks, Joanne. And that was Joanne Anderson there. Ballots close midday on the 29th of this month of March. So make sure you do vote and that you vote for Joanne.